I'm 92 now. That number still surprises me when I say it out loud. 92 means there isn't much road left, and I can feel that in my bones when I stand up too fast. It means most of the people who once knew my name the way a mother knows it are already gone. And it means this: if I'm going to be honest about my life, I don't have the luxury of lying anymore. Here's the thing that kept me awake last night. Most of what I chased for 70 years wasn't waiting for me at the end. It never was.
I learned that at 79, standing in front of a house that no longer belonged to me, with paint peeling like old scabs and a mailbox hanging crooked the way my father used to hang his hat when he came home tired. I learned it too late to go back, but not too late to tell you. You with your phone glowing in the dark, telling yourself you'll slow down after this season, after this promotion, after things settle. They don't settle. They just keep moving, and you move with them until one day you realize you've been running towards something that keeps stepping back. I'm not here to scold you. God knows I've earned no such authority, but I am here to say this plainly. I recognize the look in your eyes. I had it too. I spent most of my life convinced happiness was somewhere else, some other city, some other version of me, some cleaner, louder, more impressive future where I finally felt justified. At 79, my wife Eleanor had been gone for 3 years. Pancreatic cancer, fast and merciless. One season she was planting tomatoes. The next she was apologizing for being tired.
After the funeral, I stayed busy. That's what men like me do. Busy feels useful. Busy feels like control. But one afternoon in October of 2013, I found myself driving without a destination, just hands on the wheel, coffee cooling in the cup holder, a radio host talking about traffic I wasn't part of anymore. And somehow, without planning it, I took the exit for Mill Creek Road. I hadn't been back there since 1987. That's 26 years of excuses. The town sign was smaller than I remembered, or maybe I was bigger then. Hard to say. The diner was gone. The hardware store was a yoga place now, which made me laugh out loud like a crazy person. But the road still curved the same way near the creek, and my chest tightened when I saw the maple tree at the bend, still standing, taller, meaner. The house was at the end of Cedar Lane, white once, probably still white underneath the gray. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, no insulation to speak of. A house I spent my childhood trying to escape. I parked across the street and sat there longer than I'd like to admit. My hands were shaking. Not fear, recognition. Like running into an old version of yourself you never apologized to. I grew up there with my parents, Frank and Lillian, and my younger sister, Ruth. Dad worked at the paper mill, came home smelling like pulp and sweat. Mom kept the windows open no matter the cold, said fresh air kept the soul honest. We didn't have much. We had enough, which at the time felt like an insult.
In 1947, I was 13. I remember standing in that house, barefoot on the linoleum, listening to the radio crackle with voices from places I'd never been. Chicago, New York, names that sounded like promises. I decided then I was leaving. I decided that this place was too small for who I was going to become. And I was right. But I was also wrong in a way I didn't understand until 79. I walked up the driveway that day, the gravel crunching under my shoes. The screen door was different, newer, but it still squeaked. Some things refused to die. The current owners weren't home. I was grateful. I didn't want an audience. I stood on the porch and closed my eyes. And just like that, I was 8 years old again, sitting on that same step, waiting for my father to come home. The sound of cicadas, the smell of my mother's soup drifting through the screen, Ruth humming something tuneless behind me. I'd spent decades telling myself I'd outgrown that life, that I'd traded it for something better. I had the job, the title, the conferences. I wore suits that cost more than my father's car ever did. I made it. That's what I told people. But standing there, my chest hurt, not with pride, but with grief. Grief for what I'd mistaken as small.
In 1968, I was living in Boston, working for a manufacturing firm. Middle management at first, then higher. By 1974, I had my own office with a window. I remember the day clearly, March 12th, snow still clinging to the sidewalks. Eleanor called to congratulate me, and I told her I'd call back later. I had a meeting. That became a habit. We had 2 kids by then, Thomas and Elise. I missed more dinners than I attended, missed a school play because a client flew in unexpectedly, missed 1,000 little things that only feel important once they're gone. I told myself I was building something, and I was, just not what I thought. The truth, the ugly one, is that I was chasing a feeling I remembered from childhood without realizing it. I wanted to feel secure. I wanted to feel proud. I wanted to feel like I mattered. And instead of noticing that I'd already felt all of that once for free, I tried to buy it back with overtime and praise and plaques on the wall.
When I finally opened my eyes on that porch in 2013, I noticed the quiet, real quiet, not the empty kind, but the full kind. The kind where you can hear your own breathing and it doesn't scare you. I thought about my mother's hands, always warm, always busy. I thought about my father sitting at the table, rubbing his temples, still smiling when I walked in. I thought about Ruth, who died in 1999, laughing so hard at nothing that she snorted. I spent my life trying to get away from that house, and then I spent the rest of it trying to recreate what it gave me, without the house, without the people, without the patience. I leaned against the railing and laughed, a short, bitter laugh. All those years I said, once I get there. There never existed. Here's the part you might not like. You don't get to outrun yourself. You can dress it up, relocate it, rename it, but wherever you go, you arrive with the same hunger if you never fed it properly. I thought happiness lived in progress. Turns out it lived in presence. I thought identity was something you earned. Turns out it's something you protect. I thought love would wait until I had time. It doesn't. If I could pull you aside, just you, no audience, I'd tell you a few things I had to learn the long way.
First, kill your ego while it's still small enough to bury. It lies. It tells you you're behind, that you need more applause, more proof. It will trade your evenings for validation and call it ambition. Second, practice the last time. The last time your kid reaches for your hand. The last time your partner laughs in the other room.
You won't know it's the last time when it happens. Act accordingly. And third, this one hurts. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for calm. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to become someone else before you're allowed to be content. I waited, and I missed things that never came back. When I left that porch, I didn't feel closure. I felt clarity. Closure is a young person's fantasy. Clarity is what shows up when there's no more pretending. I drove away slowly, past the creek, the maple tree, the town sign again. I didn't cry until I hit the highway. Now, at 92, I don't have grand advice. I don't have 5 steps to fulfillment. I have a quieter truth. Life isn't asking you to be impressive. It's asking you to be here. When my time comes and I can feel it warming up backstage, I won't be thinking about my resume. I'll be thinking about a screen door squeaking open, about soup on the stove, about a house that was never too small. If you're still running, I understand. I ran a long time. Just look around once in a while. You might already be standing in the place you'll miss most.